Hello, my name's Emily from Supermom Crochet, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make this baby dress. It's my flower lace baby dress pattern. The skirt is full and it's got 3D flowers and lacy leaves, and it's fully lined with a double crochet liner. So I'll be showing you how to make the lining, and then those lacy flowers and leaves, along with the bodice, and finishing the back. So you need 3 buttons to close up that back. And the flowers go all the way around just to give it a really nice, springy, girly, pretty look. This is the 3-month size. And just to show another sample that I made a newborn size. And just to show other color combinations you can make, just using one color for the leaves and the liner, just making the flowers pop a little bit more. There's just a lot of options that you can use. So I made 3 months with a G hook, or 4.25 millimeters. For the bodice and alternating leaves, I used Baby Bee Sweet Delight green light yarn. And then for the lining and then the other leaves, I used a contrasting of darker green and Sweet Delight Baby Sage. For the flowers, I alternated between I Love This Yarn Sport Weight and Ivory, and also in Amethyst. Alrighty, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is make our slip knot. Now we're going to chain 54. Begin shaping the neckline in the first few rows. Ten, 20, 30, 40, 50. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's our beginning chain. Now that we've got our beginning 54 chains, we're going to begin shaping the neckline. I'm going to put 1 half double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook, and in the next 5 chains. So we'll have a total of 6 half double crochets. 3, 4, 5, and 6. How it looks. All right. Now in the next chain, we're going to half double crochet, chain 2, and half double crochet again in that same chain. And that's how that looks. Okay. Now we're going to put 1 half double crochet in each of the next 12 chains. That's going to shape our neckline for our little dress. and 12. Okay, this next stitch, again, we're going to half double crochet, chain 2, and half double crochet again in that same chain. We're going to do that 2 more times. So half double crochet in each of the next 12 chains. And 12. Okay, so we're going to half double crochet, chain 2, and half double crochet again in that same chain. I'm going to do that 1 more time. 1 half double crochet in each of the next 12 chains. All right, and again, half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet in that same chain. To end the row, make 1 half double crochet in each of the last 6 chains. Alrighty, so this is what the neckline is looking like. I'll just show you. I think it's pretty cool. So this is the front of the dress. That'll be the arms and the back. The little. So as I said, the first few rows are going to be growing out that bodice. So for row 2, chain 2, turn, put 1 double crochet in each stitch across to that first chain 2 space. And the beginning chain 2 does not count as a double crochet. Important to note. So 1 double crochet in each stitch to the chain 2 space. 1 more. All right, now in that chain 2 space, we're going to double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet again in that same chain 2 space. How that looks. So we're going to do that again. So every stitch gets 1 double crochet, kind of like what we did in row 1 just with double crochets instead of half double crochets. Each stitch across. Coming up to that next chain 2 space. Okay, so just like last time, in that chain 2 space, double crochet, chain 2, ooh, and double crochet in that chain 2 space. Okay, we're going to continue in that pattern all the way to the end. So 1 double crochet in every stitch, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the chain 2 space. Just carry on all the way to the end of the row. And I'll meet you there. All right, so this is how the end of row 2 looks. That's the back of the dress. It's just growing out. So rows 3 through 6 is going to be a repeat of row 2. So rows 3 through 6, chain 2, turn, double crochet in every stitch, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet to the end. All right, so this is how our bodice looks at the end of row 6. Repeated row 2. That's how it looks. It's the back of the dress. Now row 7, we're going to be separating the armholes. So to do that, my yarn go in here. Okay, chain 2, turn, double crochet in each stitch across to that first chain 2 space, just like our other rows. This time we're going to be making little armholes. Okay, so I'm going to double crochet in that chain 2 space, chain 3 this time, skip all these stitches to the next chain 2 space. We're going to double crochet in that chain 2 space. And that's made the first armhole. Now we just put 1 double crochet in each stitch across to the next chain 2 space. We'll make the second armhole. And I did speed it up for the sake of time. Feel free to pause or skip ahead. I know a lot of people crochet faster than me, some are slower than me. Just for the sake of time. All right, so made it to the second chain 2 space, double crochet in that space, chain 3, skip all the stitches over to that last chain 2 space, and put 1 double crochet in that space. We've made the second armhole. Now finish row 7 just by putting 1 double crochet in each of the remaining double crochets to the end. All right, just to show you how it looks, we've made the little armholes. Let's see, they're so cute. That's what the front looks like. I love these little cap sleeve dresses. All right, so moving on to row 8. Row 8, we're going to chain 1, turn our work, put 1 half double crochet in every stitch and chain across. So 1 half double crochet instead of double crochet. Now we're going to be making 1 half double crochet in each of those 3 chains that we made under the arm. I like to put them through 2 loops instead of just 1. Sorry for going off camera. Sometimes they're kind of hard to see. There's 1. Got to put them through 2 loops. Just feel like it's more secure if you put them through 2 loops instead of just 1. That one was hard. And then half double crochet in those double crochets. So that's how it looks, going through 2 loops instead of just 1. Again, I think it gives it a little more security than just going through 1. So carry on. I'm going to speed things along a little bit, putting 1 half double crochet in every stitch over to the next chain 3 space, where we'll put 1 half double crochet in each of those 3 chains as well. Okay, so here's 1, 2, 3. Gonna get our stitches through 2 of those loops. Again, I apologize for going off camera. It's just kind of hard to see both of those loops. Yeah, that one was a little easier. And one more. Yeah, that one was difficult. But I got it. All right, so that's how it looks. We're going to end this row with 1 half double crochet in each stitch to the end. Okay, so that's how it looks. Now, row 9, we're going to connect the 2 sides. Moving on to row 9, we're going to connect the 2 sides of the bodice together and start growing out the skirt. So to do that, I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch on the other side, just like that. All right, then chain 2, double crochet in that same space, and double crochet again in that same stitch. That chain 2 does not count as a stitch. We're going to put 2 double crochets in every stitch around to increase and start growing out that skirt. Again, just make 2 double crochets in every stitch around. Okay, and end with a slip stitch in our beginning double crochet. All right, so I put 2 double crochets every stitch around. Just going to finish up this last stitch. You should have 116 double crochets at the end of this row. Slip stitch, and now I'm going to chain 1 and put a stitch marker in that chain 1 to hold my working yarn, because to start working on the liner, we're going to join with our different color. So to work on the liner of the dress, I'm going to join with my darker green yarn. So a couple stitches out from the beginning of the row, I'm going to join my yarn in the back loop of one of our stitches. I'm going to draw up a loop, chain 1, 2, and then working over the tail, double crochet in the back loop only. So again, in the back loop only and weaving in that beginning tail, put 1 double crochet in every stitch around in that back loop. So we're going to be making our overskirt in the front loop, so our lining has to be worked in the back loop. You can join your yarn however you're used to. This is just the way that I join it. You can join with a slip stitch or a slip knot. This is just how I'm comfortable joining my new color. So again, put 1 double crochet in the back loop only for this round and join with a slip stitch. All right, and come into the end of our row and show you how to work over the end of the normal ends of our rows. Working through the back loops. And I didn't join our new yarn in the same spot for a reason. I find it easier because we didn't cut and join our yarn. We're keeping our working yarn going. So we're just going to work in the back loops over our old stitches. And join with a slip stitch in that beginning double crochet. Okay, so that's how that looks. So we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and double crochet in that same space. And then the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2. I'll increase or put 2 double crochets in the next stitch just to grow that skirt out a little bit. Okay, so put 1 double crochet in 3 stitches, 2, 3, and then increase with 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So in every 4th stitch, make an increase. Continue that around, ending with a slip stitch in the beginning double crochet. That's how that looks. Continue that around, ending with a slip stitch in the beginning double crochet. All right, so this is how our liner is looking. So we are going to continue growing out our liner with a chain 2 and double crochet in every stitch around. We're going to grow that skirt out with just double crochets. It was a quick transition, but I've completed rows 12 through 20 to make our liner. Just alternating rows, chain 2, turn, double crochet all the way around, chain 2, turn, double crochet all the way around to make our liner. See where our overskirt stitches will be in the front loops only. So we're going to remove our stitch marker from our working yarn. And for the liner, I did go ahead and weave in my tails as well. All right, so we chain 2 with our working yarn, and we're going to be working in the front loops that are remaining. So not both, just 1. Double crochet 3 times in the first stitch. We're going to grow out the overskirt, a little bit more than the liner. So 3 double crochets in that first stitch, and then 2 double crochets in each of the next 18 stitches. So again, 3 double crochets in the first stitch, 2 double crochets in each of the next 18 stitches, And then in that 19th stitch, make another 3 double crochets. So I'll meet you after I've done 2 double crochets in 18 stitches. I know it's kind of funky, but that's how we get the number of stitches that we need to set up our pattern for the flowers. All right, so I've made 2 double crochets in 18 stitches. Now I'm in the 19th stitch. I'm going to put 3 double crochets into this stitch. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and just continue in that pattern. So put 2 double crochets in the next 18 stitches, and then 3 in that 19th stitch. And that will get us to the 240 total double crochets that we need in order to set up our flowers. All right, so I've completed that pattern. I have 240 double crochets. That's how it looks in the front. It's very full, very frilly, but that's all the increasing we're going to do for our skirt. So we had to do it all at the beginning, so we don't have to worry about increasing in our pattern. All right, so we're going to begin our leaf pattern. We're going to have chain 5, and this counts as 1 double crochet and a chain 2. Okay, we're going to skip 5 stitches. Okay, we're going to make our cluster. So yarn over twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, and one more, yarn over twice, pull through 2, pull through 2. Now yarn over and pull through all of the loops on your hook. So that makes the first cluster leaf. Now we're going to chain 4. Now on this same stitch, single crochet, chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to place a stitch marker because we're going to be skipping 2 of those 6 chains. And we're going to be working through them in the next row, so I find that it's a lot easier to have that stitch marker instead of trying to find the space yourself. So we're going to skip the first 2 chains. Okay. And slip stitch. I like to put the hook through 2 loops. Again, I just think it looks better and it's more sturdy. Let's slip stitch down those 4 remaining chains. It makes the stem for our flower. Not tricky. All right. So that's how the stem looks. Now in that same stitch, single crochet. Now the reverse of that first leaf, we're going to chain 4, and we're going to make our second leaf cluster. So yarn over twice, pull up your loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over twice, pull through 2, and 2, yarn over twice, through 2, through 2, and one more, through two, pull through two, and now pull through all of the loops on your hook. So that makes our two leaves and our stem for our flower. Now we're going to chain two, skip 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double crochet in that next stitch. Chain two. And here's where our repeat begins. So we're going to skip 5, 5, and in that next stitch, we're going to make our cluster again. This is our repeat to make our leaves and our stem, making treble clusters and stem. You have 4, go through all of them, chain 4, single crochet, chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You don't have to place a stitch marker, but I find that it's a lot easier, like I said. So I'm just going to place a stitch marker to show me where I'm supposed to put my hook in the next row. And that was my 2-year-old moving that little tin. It wasn't a ghost, I promise. So again, we're going to slip stitch down the remaining 4 chains. Three, and 1 more. Kind of hard to get them through sometimes, but again, I do like the look of putting them through 2 loops instead of 1. Now we're going to single crochet, chain 4, and make our second treble cluster leaf. Finish up. So again, 2 through 2, 4 times to make our second leaf. So it looks kind of intimidating, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty mindless. Chain 2, skip 5, double crochet, and that's our pattern. So there's our leaves and our stem. We're going to continue this around and end with a slip stitch in the 3rd chain of our beginning chain 5. All right, so I just finished our first row in our pattern. I've slip stitched. Just going to show you what that looks like. I've got my stitch markers, the top of all of my little stems. Front looks like little leaves. Alrighty. So next row, I'm going to turn our work, chain 1 into single crochet in that same stitch, 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, single crochet in the top of that cluster stitch. The little one was grabbing my arm. Now we're going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, And now stitch marker is really helpful because we've got to put a single crochet in that space where we skipped those 2 chains. Single crochet in that space, chain 2, and single crochet again in that same space. Try to do it without a stitch marker, and trust me, it works so much better with one. We're going to chain 5 again, and we're going to single crochet on top of that next cluster. Go ahead and remove that stitch marker. It did its job. And that's how our leaves look. Now we're going to put 2 single crochets in that chain 2 space. Single crochet in the double crochet. 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space. Single crochet on top of the cluster. And again, that's our repeat. I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Use our stitch marker to help find that space at the top of our stem. Single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet again in that same space. Okay. Chain 5, and single crochet on top of the cluster. Move your stitch marker, and that's how it looks. All right, so this is our repeat for the row. Well, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the top of the stem, chain 5, single crochet on top of the cluster, 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, single crochet on top of the double crochet, 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, single crochet on top of the cluster, chain 5. And that's our repeat. Repeat around, ending with a slip stitch in the beginning single crochet. Now go ahead and move on to part 2 of this tutorial, where we will begin on the flowers.